Hello, everybody. I'm back with a 1 minute trader and got some interesting stuff I wanted to show you. So I got a chart here actually in front of you. This is called SPY. It basically reflects what the S&P 500 is doing, has done, and hopefully we can understand what it could do in the future. But this chart basically goes back to 1988. And again, you can see we came up nicely. And then we had a little bit of oscillation in here. So again, we found resistance here, good old support down here. And then we absolutely trucked it on up. Now, let's just zoom in and take a look at this on a monthly chart. So each one of these little bars is called a candle. Make that a little bit smaller. There we go. And I've actually just drawn these lines on here. So watch this. I think this is kind of interesting. So this high back here, this was in 2018. And again, we oscillated a bit. As we do, the market does do that. That's how people make money. We came up, we touched that blue line, and that's how I created that blue line. Then we had a pullback all the way down to this lower line here. So again, it was, initially I had this line actually down a little bit lower, but again, came very, very close. And we've come right back up, and look where we've come to. Right again, back up to our good old friend, that blue line. You know, we broke through it just a little bit on the top. But we're closing, so far, we're closing back underneath it. Now, let's pull into a weekly chart, and I'll have to zoom out a pinch here. There we go. Now, looking at this again, you can see in a little bit better detail. I'll stretch that over and making sure, right? So we're touching here, and that's where we've come. I mean, these lines are absolutely magical. This is exactly what I teach in my coaching in the 1 minute trader. So again, if you're looking to understand this, this is called support and resistance. This would be a resistance line. So far, we're resisting going through. We have gone through, but we've immediately pulled back so far. And on the bottom side, of course, that would be the support side because we're coming down and we keep sort of bouncing off of it and we push back up. So again, how many times are we going to do this? So now that we've come back up to the resistance point, if I was to make any kind of prediction, which again, I don't trade with predictions. I don't trade with hot tips because they're absolutely a waste of time. But what I will do is I will be observant as to what the market is doing next. And so far for this weekly candle, that's looking pretty red. Let me just show you on the daily side of things. And we'll pull that back and we'll zoom that back a little bit. So there we go. So looking at this, there it is on the daily. So each one of these little bars is 1 day. So again, you can see it's a lot of oscillation in here. But again, there's a lot of good activity, a lot of opportunity to make money even on the way down. And even if you had sold near the top here, you wouldn't sell out at the very top, but if you sold near the top and you got back in down here, you've almost doubled your money coming all the way back up here. Can you believe that? Since March of this year, you would have nearly doubled your money on the S&P 500 alone. Simply on that whole basket of stocks. Nothing great, nothing fancy, just a basket of 500 stocks. So let's just zoom in here and take a little look. There we go at this little section here. And there we go. So again, we've come up nicely here. Up in and around this area here, we pulled back. And again, we've still carried on with a very reasonable angle on the markets. And in fact, let me just see here. I can throw on one little line in here. If I was looking down, yeah, I don't really like the way that looks. I'm going to pull that up towards the middle of this entire thing here. There we go, something like that. That roughly cuts through the whole middle. And we put that over here. Maybe we put it over here and we say similar angle, but not quite as strong. We seem to be getting a little bit of weakness coming in here now. So this is exactly what we're going to be watching for here is I want to see more weakness probably because I'd like to see the market come back down and then there's more opportunity for the market to go back up. And it's not to say you can't trade in both directions. Absolutely you can. That's a different story and a different product as well. So I'm going to take this line off here for now. But really, you know, if we get a close underneath this red line here, I'm just sort of highlighting it here with a black line as well. So around 340, 342, in and around that area. If we get a solid close on the dailies underneath that, I'm looking at minimum probably down towards 330, quite possibly even 320. And that's before we get started. And then we got the 310. And if I zoom out, you know, again, realistically down around 220. It'll be a huge move, quite potentially. No, this has nothing to do with Donald Trump. This is just how the stock markets act. No one person, no one president is going to control the market this beautifully. You know, again, they can help and sort of persuade it to continue in the same direction, but they're not going to be the absolute main cause of it going up or going down. So again, guys, watch the markets. Because there is an election in the US this year, yeah, there's going to be some more oscillation. And I know some people are making predictions as to who wins and then it goes which way versus a different way. But just keep in mind, again, there might be a little bit of arguing back and forth, and that's going to show some volatility in this market. So quite possibly, yeah, looking, well, there we go, 300. I just put my marker down around the 300 area. Not a bad looking area. Consider that probably as a minimum, and that's if we get underneath that red line, which is my 20-period exponential moving average. Okay, that's enough for today, guys. Again, if you want more training, again, that's what coaching is all about. Get help, talk to a professional. This is what I do full-time, and I love it, and I've been doing it for almost 40 years now. Love every minute of it. Talk to you soon, and good luck. Bye for now.